Hi, everyone. For our next session, we dive into how Canadian organizations can prepare for our country's 2050 zero emissions goal. Leading this session are Andrew Scorlon, Technical Sales Support Manager at Precise ParkLink, and Ian Hodgins, Head of Growth and Partnership for Eastern Canada at Hypercharge Networks. Andrew has 17 years of parking and technology automation experience, continuously looking for new ways to improve and elevate the industry. Ian works to help accelerate the adoption of electric vehicles and shift towards a carbon neutral economy. Please join me in welcoming Andrew and Ian to the stage.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew, Technical Sales Support Manager for Precise ParkLink, and today I will be presenting with my colleague here, Ian, the Road to Electrification, a strategic blueprint for Canadian organizations. So today's agenda. EV is no longer the future, it is here. Funding, grants, and incentives, choosing the right technology, managing your solution, making savvy investment decisions, promoting the well-being of our communities, and at the end we'll have a question and answer period. At this time, I will be passing it on to Ian.
Awesome, thank you. So thanks so much for having me here. I'm very excited. I actually used to work in parking management prior to moving to EV. Been in EV for 3 years. That's 10 years in a normal industry. Lot of change, a lot of rapid change, and we're really excited about this partnership. You can come and see the technology over here later today, but again, very excited. So I get to kind of talk about some of the fun stuff, which is the futuring, get my crystal ball out a little bit. So as Andrew mentioned, it's really, now is the time. It is starting to happen. When I got into this, media sentiment was through the roof. Everyone was super excited about EV. And when I spoke to people, they're like, well, we're not really doing it. Great. Now media sentiment has changed, but now I'm seeing industry sentiment is very different. Fleets are transitioning, people are buying the vehicles, there's more choice, and we're really starting to see this market pick up. So I would say take this slightly with a grain of salt, and trying to pick where this is going to end up has always been a bit of a challenge. People ask me about this all the time. These are the mandates. This is where they sit. I think we'll see some change in this. We've seen an up and to the right kind of growth in this, but it is very bumpy, and it does change. It's obviously somewhat political as well, but these are the targets, and you can see the mandate where they're trying to phase out gas-powered vehicles. Some people think this is realistic. I speak with car dealerships that say it's probably going to take more time, but we're probably somewhere in that range where this is going to happen. And the real trend is it is happening, and we are moving in that direction. You look at 2026, where we're saying new vehicle sales are going to be 20%. Well, in 2024, we're roughly trending on 16%. We'll get into some kind of data and information from finished years 2023. So just a bit of data, and really this is just kind of some touch points. We're going to focus on Canada and Ontario. If you look at some of the growth in market share, I really highlight on, and we like to use full years, but I highlight on Q3 2023, we had more ZEV, and that means battery powered, zero emissions vehicle registrations in this country than we did in all of 2022. The growth is large. Same in Ontario, registration growth, 32.6%. 27% of all new ZEVs are registered in Ontario, in this country. And that's with the factors of there's not a lot of choice. If anybody's actually been out looking for an EV, they mostly go to BC and Quebec, because that's where they get really good government funding. So you could kind of see this trend is occurring. Just some stats across different provinces. British Columbia is the leader. It's actually where our company was founded, and that's where our head office is. I'm based in Toronto, so I'm more interested in Ontario. But you could see there, 1 in 4 new vehicles registered. In Ontario, we're a laggard, again, probably because of those funding programs in BC and Quebec are very, very generous. But we're still trending on about 10% now. This is from 2023. And then Quebec, we're in 1 in 5. And these are the 3 leading provinces. They also have the best grid for this. It's the cleanest energy. So we get a lot of benefits from going to ZEV here. So we kind of say, okay, massive growth is everywhere. This is the kind of global look at it. So we kind of looked at Canada and provincial. This is our global look, and I kind of focus on cars, light duty. And again, you can kind of see that up and to the right is where we're trying to go. There's a lot of challenges with this. And there's kind of three main barriers that are cited. One is essentially the cost of a ZEV. They're expensive. The other is what's called range anxiety. So how far can I go? Canadians and North Americans specifically love to drive long distances. We want higher range. So those types of things are barriers. The other barrier, and really where I'm focusing my time and where we can kind of affect when you're owning a property, running a property, parking management, we can actually affect this problem here. A lack of charging infrastructure. It's a large barrier, one of those top three barriers. I'm not a chemist, I can't bring battery technology down, so this is where I'm focusing my time. So that is the challenge. Infrastructure is the challenge. It's also the opportunity. There's a big opportunity here in terms of what we require and what kind of infrastructure needs to go in. Again, these forecasts, take them with a grain of salt because they do change. I've seen recent forecasts that are much higher numbers. But essentially, this is what we're looking at. 10x growth in 6.5 years of what we need to be publicly available to really facilitate this change. Huge opportunity there if done properly. Also, big challenge. I think we all know infrastructure is difficult. Having partners to navigate that is very, very important. But it is possible. These are challenges that are overcomable. We also have new and interesting technologies when it comes to battery technology, et cetera, that we're seeing all sorts of ways that this is going to get easier to get installed, right, with all the electrical issues. So fully supported by the Canadian government, this is an interesting thing. I've obviously done a lot of this in ZEV. I think, yes, but it's challenging. Funding is challenging. It's difficult to navigate. There's a lot of money towards this. It's not the easiest program. I don't think the government, candidly, probably could do a little bit better, and they probably will over time deploying these funds. I think the Ontario government is now getting involved. So there's lots of money and funding programs, somewhat challenging to navigate, but they're fully behind this on the infrastructure side, right? They want people really to invest in this infrastructure, and there's a lot of money available. You just have to know how to go and find it. And then automakers. This is an ever-changing area, and if you read some of these headlines, which I do religiously because I'm in it, you'll see every day there's a different headline. Big investment, retraction, we're going to delay, we're going to move forward. And it really is like that. There are people getting way ahead in this, and there are companies that are delaying or going to essentially cancel some of their investments. This is a snapshot from 2023. It was close to globally of all these automakers. So there was Reuters did an analysis, 37 global automakers, and they were invested cumulatively 1.2 trillion through to 2023. And that's for EV technology and battery technology. And really that's a really telling feature that, yes, some of them are being dragged a little bit. I'd say, Ford in particular, has kind of scaled those things back, but others are forging ahead. And again, great opportunity as, North America and especially Ontario, we're heavily into manufacturing of these things. So people kind of say, okay, well, where are we now? And then we're really on a very typical kind of technology curve. We're in this, I would say in Ontario specifically, this is a really good indicator where we are. We're still in this early adopter phase. I think we're at 16% as of the new vehicle registrations, about 16%. So we're still in early adoption, and there's a lot of challenges with that. And essentially, we're trying to get to this early majority. Some countries have, Norway has, California to a certain degree, BC to a certain degree, getting into that early majority when really the change becomes more or less an inevitability. It's crossing that chasm. And again, removing those three barriers, if you can do that, which seem to be all moving in that direction, we can cross that chasm. So we like to say, embrace an unavoidable transition. It's a good time to be thinking about this, whether you're going to be doing it this year or 2025 or 2026. It's good to start planning. It takes longer than everybody thinks. And we say there's opportunity here, right? When done properly. brand perception, loyalty, attracting new customers, depends on your site. Potentially to grow revenue. It's very easy to charge and collect revenue, or in the past that was very difficult. So now you can, especially now running it through Parked In, you can actually have it where you're just growing the revenue and making it quite easy to manage that growth as well. So before I pass it back over to Andrew, I'm just going to say some factors to consider as we're kind of looking into this. And I'm just highlighting a couple here. You can kind of read those, and mostly of the points we touched on. But we are seeing rapidly declining EV input costs, and we're also seeing increasing consumer choice. You're going to see a lot of brands available to you to actually purchase as a consumer. Battery technology is dropping at an alarming speed. New forecasts are 40% price drops in the actually battery system, which is the most expensive part of the EV. Price parity, I've read forecasts on 2026 to 2028, they'll reach price parity in the marketplace. And that range, when we talk about consumer choice, that range anxiety is going to go away, where we're going to see batteries every year are going to get better. And you're going to have 500, 600, 700, up to 1,000 kilometer range potentially is being forecasted. So lots of things to consider. Just wanted to give you that kind of snapshot on what's going on in EV, and then I'll pass it back over to Andrew here in terms of choosing the right technology and actually putting this together on the property.
Well, thank you very much for that, Ian. I'm going to start off by distinguishing the differences between level 1, level 2, and level 3 chargers. Level 1 chargers are the most basic. They're using a standard 120 volt outlet and providing a slow charge, typically suitable for overnight charging. Level 2 chargers are more powerful, operating on a 240 volt system, and are ideal for public and workplace charging, offering a balance between charging speed and cost. Level 3 chargers, also known as DC fast chargers, provide the quickest charge, often reaching 80% capacity in about 30 minutes. These are best suited for highway rest stops or high traffic urban areas where quick turnaround is essential. Turnkey EV charging services for your parking operation. And while the technology you select is an important consideration, you want to ensure that you receive a full turnkey solution from EV charger supply, design, and installation to reporting and regular maintenance and support. Advanced EV charging and software and network solutions. When choosing EV chargers, it is crucial to evaluate the charging speed and compatibility with various EV models. Different vehicles have varying battery capacities and charging capabilities. Ensuring that your chargers can accommodate a wide range of vehicles and is OCPP compliant will enhance user satisfaction and increase utilization. Additionally, integrating these chargers with your existing parking and payment system can streamline operations and provide a seamless experience for users. EV charging as a service. One significant advantage of modern EV chargers is the inclusion of dual ports. This allows two vehicles to charge at the same time, maximizing the utility of each station and decreasing the costs. Additionally, leveraging smart charging and management tools that offer a unified data view for your entire parking program can help in monitoring and optimizing both parking and charging operations effectively. And if you don't want to commit to an outright purchase, monthly subscriptions are also available. There is no capital cost for the equipment, and a monthly service fee is all you would have to pay. So managing your solution. First things first is partner up with an authorized provider and support specialist. There's a lot of options out there in the marketplace right now. So it's very important to ensure that your solution is managed effectively and is important to partner with an authorized provider and support specialists of EV charging technology, and they specialize in that. They will provide you with various options and ensure your EV infrastructure meets your unique needs. A cloud solution that fully manages your parking portfolio, or charging portfolio, that is. Continuous monitoring and optimization are key to ensuring the efficient use of EV charging stations. Regularly reviewing usage data and identifying patterns can help in adjusting operational strategies. This can also involve everything from adjusting the number of chargers that are required in high demand areas to ensuring maintenance schedules are up to date to avoid downtime. Data analytics play a crucial role in understanding how charging stations are used. By analyzing data on peak usage times, frequent users, and energy consumption, you can make informed decisions about where to allocate resources, how to price charging sessions, and when to schedule maintenance. This data-driven approach ensures that your EV charging infrastructure remains responsive to user needs and operates efficiently. Pay, charge, go. Streamlining the payment process is another critical aspect of managing your EV charging solution. By integrating EV charging payments with parking payments, you simplify the experience for users who can handle all transactions through a single platform. Also utilizing management tools that provide a unified data view across your entire parking program, including EV charging, can enhance operational efficiencies and improve decision-making. Making savvy investment decisions. Before diving into monetization of EV charging, it's essential to assess whether this approach aligns with your organization's objectives and meets your customers' expectations. Consider whether your customers are willing to pay for charging and if it complements the overall service offerings. Understanding your market and customer base will guide your pricing strategies and ensure that monetization efforts enhance rather than detract from user satisfaction. When it comes to monetizing EV charging, exploring different pricing structures is crucial. This can include pay-per-use, subscription models, or tiered pricing based on charging speeds. Each model has its advantages and can be tailored to meet the needs of your customers and operational goals. Additionally, effective pricing strategies can help ensure efficient turnover, making chargers available to more users throughout the day. Employing advanced management tools that offer a single pane of glass experience for your entire parking program, including EV charging, can significantly enhance decision-making and operational efficiencies. These tools provide comprehensive insights into usage patterns, revenue streams, and operational performance, allowing you to optimize your infrastructure, improve customer service, and maximize the return on your investment in EV charging technology. And at this time, I will be passing it back to my colleague, Ian.
So Andrew gets to cover all the challenging stuff, and I get to wax poetic on these things, which is great. Really, the main reason I got into this specifically for, hoping to do good as well as do well and successfully. And I think I always like to end off, and this is the kind of my final slide, is really I'm like, why? So we've covered where it's going. We know it's up and to the right. Things are changing. But it's nice to take a breath and say, why? Like, why are we doing this? What's the purpose of it? So I focus on some things that I think are more important to individuals in their day-to-day life. And the main one I always focus on is really cleaner air and health boosts. So I looked into the GTHA, so basically the Greater Toronto Hamilton area. What happens during a rush hour? And essentially, if you've got, in a normal rush hour, it's about 38,000 tons of emissions every single rush hour. You sit in your car and you breathe that in. And if you live next to a highway, you breathe that in. And your kids breathe it in. So to me, if you were going to design a system, probably makes more sense to take that out of the air. So there's benefit there. In terms of you're going to design a system, you'd probably produce your energy locally as opposed to be at the whims of a global market, and you have no control over it. That would create jobs here locally. We also can innovate here, right, as Precise is doing. There's a lot of innovation, there's job creation that comes out of this if we can harness this. And there's great, we have a supply chain from north to south in terms of we build vehicles here in the south, and we can mine the minerals in the north. There's great opportunity in this. So I do like to focus at, yes, a lot of work and it's challenging, and you do need the right partner. But there's a reason why, and it's really these types of reasons is why I'm excited about this, and I hope I can share some of that excitement with you.
Thank you again to Andrew and Ian for joining us today. Please give them a round of applause.
Thanks, Andrew. Thank you. Good.